I'm gonna go far. Do we have a sleeve or something for it? Okay.
Caballero.
Yes.
Present.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
357 District Court will call its court in session for today's docket, Friday, February 25th, 2022, 8 o'clock in the morning. Starting with 2019 DCL 4681, Castillo Polanco, Rejalina Rodriguez, Mr. Canales, Mr. Cisneros.
Good morning, Your Honor. Carlos Cisneros. I'm here with Mr. Castillo, my client. We're present and ready, Judge.
Okay. Where's
Good morning, Judge. Recognized for Rejalina Rodriguez, she's here, present with me, also with Animal Trey Garza.
All right. What are the issues here? What are we,
We set for jury trial, Judge, on Monday.
Judge, if I may, I want to object to a jury trial. This is a property-only case. There's no children issues. It all goes to the court. There should not be a jury trial on a property division, Judge.
I will rely on Mr. Cisneros that he has looked at the statute and he is in fact entitled to one. If not, then we need to reconsider this thing.
Well, Judge, on 701, it goes to the court, not to the jury. Family code.
Judge, if I may, the characterization of the property, which is the major dispute in this case, is a jury issue.
I disagree, Judge.
Okay, what section are you relying on, Mr. Garza?
701, General Rule Property Division. The court makes the division of the property, not the jury.
After the jury has characterized the property, Judge, that's absolutely correct. But first, the jury needs to characterize if this property is still community property or is it separate property. Once the characterization is done by the jury, Mr. Garza is absolutely right. You get to decide if there's something to divide or if there's nothing to divide. And if there's something to divide, you decide based on fault or based on other grounds, whether divide it 50-50 or whether to divide it 60-40 or whether to divide it 70-30 or whether the property is separate or community after the jury has characterized it.
I understand that. I think Mr. Garza understands the concept, yes. So what section are you relying to say the characterization of property is a separate issue and must be determined by a jury? Just give it to me. I will look it up.
Judge, if you give me a minute, I have my file in front of me.
I will do that. I will give you a minute because it's
I'll get you the case law and the statute.
well, that is fine. I just need to know because we need to make a decision here which way we're gonna roll, and it also depends on realize if we're gonna roll. So let me move on to the next one. 2008, 5, 2953, Reina Gonzalez, Mr. Flores.
I'm here.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Miss, good morning. How are you?
Good, Judge. Thanks.
Where is Mr. Flores?
I'm here, Your Honor, but it's Raul Gonzalez is my client on this one, and Brittany Reina is the other client.
Right. Brittany Reina, Raul Anthony Gonzalez. So what are we doing with this one this morning?
Judge, I have filed a motion to withdraw. We've already finalized the case. The issues we're having is with the final order. We can't come to terms as to all things. And my client and our relationship just has kind of fallen apart. Without going into details, I just respectfully request to withdraw.
All right. Well, the court has difficulty doing that. We're going to reinvent the wheel and leave this pending, and somebody else is going to come and challenge the same thing. What is holding up the disagreement of the attorneys regarding the divorce? What provision?
Judge, it has to do with the child support and how much time the children lived with the parents in 2021. My client wants specific wording in there about that, and it wasn't put on the record at a final, and I've made recommendations to her that she's not that she does not agree with.
Okay, well, it has to do with that she wants, I need to make more clarification. She wants what in the divorce decree? What is she advocating for?
Judge, she wants, it's not a divorce, it's a SAPSR modification.
Okay.
But she wants language about who lived with who in 2021.
And that is for purposes of what in her mind? What does she explain? Why is it important to her for that?
Judge, if she can answer, because I don't want to violate privilege and say something
Well,
that she's,
I understand that. that's
maybe
okay.
she can explain it to you better on why, the reasons I don't, well,
Never
Let her-
mind. I got it. I don't want to put you in harm's way.
Can I chime in a little bit, Your Honor? The basic difference is that we were arguing it was a year. The children were with my client, and where she's argued it was more along the lines of about 7 months. So because, you know, my client's saying a year, she's saying 7 months, that's the last difference in terms of how much child support credit he should get for the time the children were with him and not with her. So, but she's here though, so she can explain herself. You can have her log in, Your Honor. When she's logged in.
Judge, and just so you know, it makes no difference on the actual amount owed.
So we're splitting hairs. Okay, I get it. All right, Ms. Reyna, tell me why is it that you're dissatisfied or you're not?
Your Honor, can you put her under oath before she
Yes.
speaks?
Get under oath, ma'am.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Raise your
Raise your
right
right
hand.
Hi, good morning, Your Honor. I just
Hold
wanted-
on, I have to
Hold
swear
on,
you in.
hold on, hold on.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony you will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your,
You have just taken an oath to tell me the truth, okay? That's a very important oath in this court. If you tell me something's not true, I'm not gonna be very happy with you. So what is it that you are in disagreement about?
So I'm in disagreement about the fact that it said that that the girls resided with him for 2 months in
For how many? For how many?
12 months,
12 months?
which was the entire year of
Okay,
20.
all right. And then
Okay.
you're saying what?
And I'm saying that Lexus, which is our 15-year-old, was there from April to August because I had to take her out of the high school that he enrolled her in without my, without
Let's not
even.
get on a side, let's not get on a side issue. Tell me, what is it that you disagree with? So he's saying the kids were with him for 12 months. You disagree with it because you're saying one of them was not there, but from April to August, and what else?
And then my older one, the 17-year-old, was there with him from August to now, but they've never lived with him, sir. They lived with the grandparents.
Okay. So what is it that you want?
I
What
just
is it
feel
that you're saying?
like if he wants to get credit for it, then let it be correct, that the dates were on there. And also, Judge, do you feel like it's that he gets credit when he never had them, when he still doesn't have them?
Well, I will answer your questions. I just want to make sure that I understand your position before I start answering your questions. Fair enough?
Okay.
All right. So,
Okay, Your Honor, if I
so
can
he's
explain.
he's claiming 12 months for both of them, when they
Right.
in fact were not completely the whole year with him, either one of them. They were
Right.
just fractions of the year with him, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's important to you because you want what? At the end of this,
Because in the
argument.
end, I want him to be credited what he deserves if you so, whatever you feel is right, Your Honor.
All right,
Mm,
and?
And that's it. Basically, I just wanted to show where Lexus was
All right.
there.
So right now, the way your disagreement is because they're giving him credit for a whole year when he didn't have them?
Yeah, when he never.
Is that what your argument is? Is that what your disagreement is with your own counsel?
Yes, and because my counsel wanted more money to clarify that, and I had already paid a lot.
Well, but is this agreement with the advice that counsel is giving you? Because you don't think that this is what she's arguing, that what you want.
My attorney had already changed everything in the order, and she sent it over to Mr. Flores, and Mr. Flores was in disagreement. So when my attorney was in agreement with me and everything was okay, we were in good terms, she forwarded that over to him. And then when he didn't agree, she wanted more payment. And I just, I asked her to help me, and she said I was going to withdraw, that she was going to withdraw.
So this, I guess what I'm getting to, so this is not a matter of you're accepting whatever the court's gonna do, but you're just saying it should be this way, in my view.
Right. I just wanted to be corrected,
Well,
sir.
I understand what you want, but you want it to be this specific because in your mind, that's correct.
Right.
Yes, yes. And then you're willing to submit to whatever this court decides. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. So then your disagreement with you, Ms. Salazar, is just basically financial.
No, not financial. I just want the dates on there to be corrected, Your Honor. I just,
Okay.
I just didn't understand why she had to withdraw. I figured we
Well, she
were.
hasn't withdrawn. I haven't allowed her to withdraw. So you need to be aware of what's going on, okay? She has not withdrawn. She's asking to be withdrawn, but I haven't yet to agree with that, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right,
you're-
Mr. Gonzalez, what's the problem?
Okay, the thing is that the kids were with me. We did have child support court in April. Well, my youngest daughter, she moved in with me in January. So my daughter youngest was Lexis. She stayed with me from April. No, sorry. From January to April. From April, we had child support court, which I explained to the judge that my daughter's been living with me since January. Brittany spoke with the judge and told her, I want my daughter back. The judge stated, you can't force your daughter to come back home because she's going to run away. So my daughter continued to stay with me. Well, my oldest daughter.
Okay, look, I want to hear you all out, but I got other people waiting for me. I want to short circuit it. What is your position? You should get credit from January for Brittany, January to what?
January till October 5th for Lexis. That's when she moved back with
All right.
her, was October.
Okay, so you want credit from January to October?
Yes.
All right.
And then my oldest Mercedes, she moved in with me on May, and she's still with me up to this date.
Your Honor.
And Your Honor,
Ms. Reina, I'm trying to conduct this in an orderly fashion. I can't let you cut in whenever you want. He didn't cut in when you were talking. Be kind enough to do the same thing, okay?
Your Honor.
All right.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry. The reason she's fighting for these dates is because when I had these kids the whole time that they were with me, she was claiming food stamps. She was claiming government assistance when she wasn't supposed to. So with these dates that I need, I'm able to send it off so she can get, she was filing when she wasn't supposed to. And that's what she's worried about, because she was accepting government help while I was struggling and I'm still paying child support. I'm trying to figure out ways to take care of my kids. She did not help with me with $1 when I had my kids this whole time. She did not help with me at all.
All right. Let me ask you something. When the kids were they were with your grandparents and while you were working?
No, they were, that was her. They were living with me. They weren't with they weren't with my parents.
You were providing all substance and living and everything for them?
While she was getting us, yes, I was. While she was getting assistance, she never helped me. So I just want these dates so I can go back and she can be held accountable for filing for fraud.
So you want to be able to get to this so she can get nailed, so she can get
well, no, not nailed, but
is that your
the
option?
thing is that,
what is that the option that you want to get her in trouble?
Well, no, not in trouble. I just need something just stating that
what purpose? What purpose do you need something for? What?
No,
what are you going to do with? Listen to me. What are you going to do with that information? If I give you this date, why is it important for you? What are you going to do with it?
It's just to to get my money back. That the kids were with me through the years, so I claim that I was.
So it's important to you for reimbursement of money that you pay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Flores.
Yes, Your Honor. This is what's the whole scenario has been. It's been argued back and forth on basically what boils down to a couple of months. If we go with the way that Ms. Reina says it,
there was a statement that made that including whether one scenario or the other one is developed, what net effect does it have on child support?
What it does is it takes out some of the arrears. If it gets credited back.
All right, and that's the upshot?
Well, as I understand it, the arrears are going to be wiped out either way, whether we're Ms. Reina's position or
is that in fact a net that the sum zero game here, that it gives him credit for his arrearages?
Well, if I'm not mistaken,
I keep calling you Ms. Salazar, I'm thinking of somebody else, Ms. Aguilar.
Judge, when I went through and met with my client on the arrears, even based on her belief of when the children were with her and when we were with him, it would still zero out his arrears. And there were no findings made at the actual final hearing. So that's the part that I was just having difficulty explaining to her. And Judge, I want to clarify, she contracted with me for an agreed order that ended up being contested, and she does not want to pay the contested rate. I thought we were going to come to one hearing and finish this. This is our fourth hearing, and I've met with her 3 times. And it's just,
I'm sure that this, there was many a times when things didn't work out the way they were presented. I understand that. So even if I give him credit for whatever he wants, as opposed to what she wants, she's not going to be, it's just our arrearages are going to come down a little bit more with his scenario than with her scenario.
Judge, in my review of it, he still would owe 0, even with the months that she's claiming. This has more to do, I think, with the other issue of benefits and when she had the children. Technically, there was an order, Judge. She had custody. There wasn't anything changing that. And I think that's her point. The kids might have been with him, but she had custody.
Right.
And therefore, she
Well,
had the right to file these things.
Well,
So
then
I think
that to me, that definitely strikes at the heart of equity. Legally, she can take that paper because legally she had custody until this thing was changed. So she can present that paper anywhere to say these kids were with me. Practically, it is only fair that he be given credit for the time those children were with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Legally, you had them. That's what they're concerned about legally. What private arrangement you had or whatever the stuff, I don't think that that's an issue.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yes.
Hi, okay, I just want, I mean, if they want to give him the arrears owed, which was 3,000, whatever, give him that credit. Not even about the food stamps, the Medicaid, the money. I wanted my girls with me, period. You know, they got upset, they went with dad, so
All
forth.
right, well, then
But
I thought that was the only issue and we resolved all the other issues.
understand, sir, I want, if he can get the owed, continue to child support for Lexus. Mercedes is with him. That's it. Like, I don't even want to fight this anymore, Your Honor. I just want it to be.
All right, well, we're just gonna go ahead and do that. We'll give him the credit. And I don't think, I take comfort in saying that because both Mr. Aguilar and Flores, that the net sum zero would get effectively is nothing really. Child support is not disturbed. The fact that you have a proper lawful order that was not really modified on the record, you can tell them that you had custody of those kids wherever. And represent that.
So you're gonna leave the order as is,
No,
or
I'm
are we?
gonna sign the one that gives him credit for Lexus from January to October and for Mercedes from May to the current date.
I just correct, just on that real quick, Your Honor. Lexus started school in Santa Rosa in my area in August, sir. I have proof of that, where she started school in August with me here in my town. And
What's the truth here? I mean, somewhere, one of you is lying. One of you has gotta be lying here because this little girl can't be in 2 different locations at the same time. So one of you is lying. Okay. Ms. Reina, do you have proof of that? I want you to fax it over to your counsel so you can give it to me. I want to look at it. You have proof where you put her in school that is count. You send it to me too for your counsel. I want to figure out who's lying here.
Yes,
and
Your
one of
Honor.
you is lying to me. I just made it very clear, and I didn't put you under oath, Mr. Gonzalez, but I'm going to put you under oath right now because I don't really like lying in my court. Ms. Carranza, can you swear in Mr. Gonzalez?
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony you will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Where is this child going? And it's in fact rolled in Santa Rosa right now.
Lexus Gonzalez is in Santa Rosa since August.
Since August. And Mr. Gonzalez, do you have proof to dispute that?
She was living with me. We came to court with you on October 5th. That's when you sent her to go back home with her. Was October. We had a court date. And October 5th, that's when you said she had to go back home to her mother. And she was living with me up until October.
Is that true, Miss Reina?
Those, no, but it-
Oh,
We did not have a hearing on October the 5th. I have the records here.
okay. Well, it was around that date, September, October. We did have a court date where you did, you had sent
You recall, Ms.
you said
Aguilar?
both kids had to go back home, but
There
both
was
kids
a
didn't
hearing.
go. It
When
was
was
only
it?
my youngest that went back home.
I have a hearing for October 6th, Judge. That was the first time I appeared.
Mr. Flores, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Este
And all I did was ask for more time.
traen este.
I just asked for more time according to my notes, so I don't know if a hearing was actually held. I
Was
don't.
there anything
Your Honor,
ordered?
on that date, Your Honor, you told them that the children had to be residing with Brittany because that's what the original order stated. Because that's what the reason we were here was to modify it, but the original order had to be modified, so the children had to go back home with Miss Reina. That's what happened on that date, Your Honor.
So I ordered
And
I ordered the children back to Miss Reina.
yes, and then that's also when we came up, after that's when my son was gonna file the motion to
All right.
confer. The next
The ruling
hearing
of the
was-
court will stand. He will be given credit for January to October for Lexus and May to currently. All right, anything else?
Mr. Flores and I can sign the order without our
Yes,
client's
you send me the
signatures?
order that reflects my ruling.
January through October and May through October, right? Okay, I'll go ahead and submit that to Ms. Aguilar.
It should be pretty clear now. And that way, after this, after you say after we get that order signed, Ms. Aguilar, I will sign your order to withdraw from this case.
Okay,
All right,
I want to clarify, it was January to
let's put
October.
the final
and May to
touches on this matter, whatever pursuant to my court order right now. If that's all you were lacking, it's been clarified. That's what the court is ruling. And so just stay along before you can get everything into my court side and so we can close this matter. Okay?
Your Honor, may I speak, please? So if I have proof, I sent you all the exhibits. I had everything in there.
I'm giving them credit for January to October for Lexus and March and May to the current for Mercedes.
Mercedes didn't move out till August, Your Honor. I don't understand. I don't know how much more to emphasize. You know, my daughter did not move out until August. Mercedes, the
Look,
oldest.
Miss Reina, you made a deal about October that you know that you were living in Santa Rosa, but you didn't tell me the final detail.
Your Honor, I
You
made
didn't tell me the fine detail that only happened October 1st. Then that's when the child was moved and you enrolled her in Santa Rosa.
It was
Oh.
enrolled in. She was enrolled in. I have proof.
You have what?
I have proof. I can fact.
That
She was enrolled,
that she what?
that she was enrolled in August in Santa Rosa with me.
I was driving her back and forth to Santa Rosa school when she was enrolled, and I was taking her to school back and forth. So she was in Santa Rosa. I tried moving her to San Benito, but I couldn't. So yes, she did go to Santa Rosa, but I was driving her every day back and forth.
They've never lived with you.
Why are you so pained about giving them credit, Ms. Reina?
It's not about that, Your
Oh,
Honor.
you sure are making it like you're
I'm
sure
paying-
making it like sound like that.
Him
That's the only effect it's going to have.
Your
But
Honor,
he's gonna get credit according to you. You're not gonna use this for the aid that you got. You're not. What are you gonna use it for if you get it your way? Just explain to me.
Dad, it's because of all this, Your Honor. Like, I lost my 17-year-old daughter.
No,
who needs-
listen to me. I don't want to hear all of that. I want to hear you tell me why are you so destroyed about not getting your way? Are you gonna get this? What are you gonna do with this information if you get it this way? Why are you so distraught about this?
Because, Your Honor, if you're going to credit where it's earned, give it to his parents. They're the ones that were raising.
Oh no! Now you're telling me another thing. I just want to know why is it so important for you? I don't. This is not about your benevolence and what you're willing to do. I want to understand why are you so destroyed? Why are you crying? Why are you upset over this issue? What are you going to do with the information?
Because I'm not trying to put him in jail. That's his case. That's his whole case.
What does that have to do with this?
It doesn't have anything to do with it,
Then
Your
why are
Honor.
you so destroyed? Why are you so upset?
I just want
Let
it
me
to be,
understand, please.
I just want it to be fair when the
Well,
girls were,
what is unfair about it?
because you're going by what he says, Your Honor, and it's
So
not
you're
that.
not winning.
No, that's not it.
Okay, well, then what is it?
Because the girls already went where they wanted to go
All
anyway.
right, so what is the fact that I'm gonna give him credit for it? Why are you sounding so destroyed about it?
Because you
What-
want to credit for the date
Why?
have them.
The what?
Because the credit is being given to when he didn't have them. I just want it to be right. That's it. And I've asked my attorney to do so, and
All
she
right.
did. He was in agreement.
So you don't think he was, the child, Alexis was with him from January? You wanna say that he was there with April, right?
She was there from April to,
April to August, right?
yes,
Do you
Your Honor.
have proof? What proof would you have that shows me that?
I can bring Lexus right now and
Oh,
tell you.
I don't want to hear from Lexus. I don't want the children involved in this. This is your fight. You're the one that's so upset about it. I don't want to bring the children into your world
I
because
just,
right now you're making it sound like you're really getting nailed to the wall here, and you're not. But you tell me, oh no, this is not important. But you're certainly acting like it is.
I'm
So I want
acting,
to know. No, I want to know what proof do you have that from, according to you, that he did not have him in January, in February, and in March, Lexus. What proof do you have that he doesn't have that proof? I don't want you to bring your kids. What document do you have that says the history shows that they were living, like the school record? Okay, here's where she was going. Okay, what proof do you have that he was in fact not, they were not with him from January to March as opposed to April to August? What proof?
I have the records that I made, police reports, that I
You
made
made-
those, that she
You
came
made police reports for what?
because she didn't want to come out of his father's house.
Because she didn't want to come back to live with you.
Right. And I have my custody order, Your Honor, where they shouldn't have been over there to begin with. Like,
Okay.
right?
So, well, yeah, but you didn't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that now. Let's get back to a message here. So, but they were living there and they just didn't want to leave.
Right.
So you're saying that that started happening in April.
Yes, it did happen in April.
Okay, but so they were not living in there in January to March.
No.
Okay, so
They were-
they went to live with him in April.
Lexus went to live with him from April to August. Mercedes from August to now.
Okay, for
That's it.
what is it? What proof do you have?
I have school records that they were in school.
Well,
I mean,
are you saying that, like, for example, when he was driving them to Santa Rosa and all that, that's not true? He was driving them to school? That's
No.
not true?
because she was staying here with me. She was back and forth with him.
No.
It wasn't a consistency, Your Honor. Just yeah, I don't even know.
Don't tell me it's not important. You're destroyed about this.
I'm just
It's
tired.
important to you.
I'm just
I've never seen anybody actually distraught over something. They keep telling me it's not important. It's not that. Well, it's got to be something, because you're
It's-
acting like the world is just cratering around you. So
Like-
it's got to be something else.
been, Your Honor. He's never been a part of these girls' lives. Like
So it's personal animosity.
it's the fact that, I mean, if he wants to,
It's the fact that you're very angry and mad at him and you hate him. Bottom line.
I mean, it's not a lie. I mean,
Okay,
that's
well, that's how that bleeds through this whole hearing. That you just hate the very
no,
presence of him.
Your Honor, I just wanted to give him credit for the times that they were
Well,
there.
yeah, you want to give him credit, but you don't have any proof. What's the proof? I'm gonna reset this, and you don't need to come with an attorney if you don't want to. But I'm gonna look. You send me everything you have in writing. What's your proof of everything you're saying? And I'm gonna ask him to do the same thing. I'm gonna put an end to this. One of you is lying to me. And Ms. Aguilar, you will be allowed to withdraw. And Ms. Brittany, you go hire another counsel you're more comfortable with, or you can come by yourself. Mr. Flores, I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know if you're gonna stay as counsel for Mr. Gonzalez or not. That's your prerogative. But as
I'll be
far
here,
as
Your Honor.
Ms. Aguilar does not want to be part of this anymore, and she's done what she's done. I mean, it's Reina, how long do you need for you to provide the proof that, here's the proof that I want. You have taken the position that Lexus only lived with him from April to August. And also that you have taken the position that Mercedes has only started to live with him in August to right now.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that takes issue with him saying that it started from May, when she started living with him, to right now. So you're talking about May, 2 months difference. You don't want to give him 2 months difference, okay. But the other one, you don't want to give him 2 or 3 months credit, because you're saying that's the wrong date. I want to see the proof of that. How long do you need? Because,
However long you want to give me.
well, no. No, it's not up to me. You're the one that has the proof. How long do you think you need to get it to my hands?
Okay, Your Honor, can you just give me, I want to close this case. I don't even
Well,
want to.
no, we're not gonna close it because you're destroyed over something here. And they're not, look, you wanna go out and say, well, Judge Magallanes was unfair to me. I don't want you to be destroyed about this. If I can avoid it, if I'm being unfair, I wanna revisit what I just did and then let you give your say so. Because this is obviously very important to you, the way you backed it this morning on screen. You're crying and you're distraught and whatever, and then you want to involve your children. And I will tell you right now, for future references, you leave the children out of this. This is your fight as an adult. You're not going to visit any of your problems on your children unnecessarily. Do you understand me?
Your Honor, can I?
But you keep it between you and Mr. Gonzalez and me and the attorneys. Do not let your children know anything of what's going on here. It doesn't matter to them. And they shouldn't be involved. This is your decision, and this is Mr. Gonzalez's decision to be fighting over this matter. I'm gonna give it to, what's today? Friday? I'll give it to Wednesday of next week.
Okay,
Give me the proof.
okay.
Thank you.
Wait, Wednesday of next week is gonna be her submitting, or it's gonna be us coming to court, Your Honor?
No, I'm gonna bring you live because she needs to bring those documents live. Mr. Gonzalez, I want you live. You bring whatever proof you have. I don't want to say, well, I have it in the car. Well, no, I have that in the kitchen table. Oh, you know what? The school has those records. No, I've asked you, I've given you this time to bring them with you. I don't want to hear that you have a record somewhere else and that it's not in the courtroom. Let's get this thing over with. So bring the proof you have with you. Okay? And I'll see you here in person. Mr. Flores,
Yes, Your Honor?
thank you.
No, I'll be in person? Okay, thank you.
In person.
Can I be excused, Judge?
Yes, I'm gonna sign the order have you signed the submitted order to withdraw?
We should have, Judge. I'll double check.
Okay, as soon as I get it, I will execute it. Thank you. And Ms. Aguilar is no longer your counsel, Ms. Reina. You need to get another counsel or take care of this yourself, okay? I'm gonna allow you to withdraw.
Okay, thank you.
So then we're coming back March 2nd, Your Honor.
There's no order granted in Ms. Aguilar, so if you can do me a favor, when you get going, send it to me, please.
We'll file it right now, Judge. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
All right,
Your Honor, that's March
Mr.
2nd?
Have you had enough time to look for the reference to the law that you're citing, please?
Your Honor, Mr. Cisneros was correct. He and I had a lengthy legal argument over the phone, and unfortunately, he is correct. The characterization of the property goes to a jury if he requests it.
Okay,
The division of that property goes to the court.
all right.
Now, Judge, we have filed a motion for summary judgment previously. We'd like to get it set at least 21 days out from now. I'm going to be amending it this morning as to the characterization. And the issue is real simple. Mr. Cisneros' client filed a gift warranty deed giving the house to our client. It was notarized, it was prepared. I mean, it was a gift. And if it's a gift, it's separate property, clearly by the code. That's the issue. That's the only piece of property we're fighting about. He wants to take it to a jury for characterization, but there's no fight. It was a gift warranty deed. We filed a motion for summary judgment. Can we please get it set 21 days from now? And that'll resolve this matter.
I answer, Judge.
Yes, I'm listening.
The Roberts versus Roberts case, the Court of Appeals, El Paso, 1999. Generally speaking, one who's claiming the existence of a gift has the burden of proof. However, where the conveyance is from one spouse to the other spouse, there is a presumption of a gift. But a gift by one spouse to another may be set aside if it is induced by duress or undue influence. In such a case, the burden rests with the donee to show that the gift was fair and equitable. Those are all fact issues for a jury to decide. That's why we're asking for a jury trial, and that's why we're asking for a jury to determine the character of this subject property. Nevertheless, Judge, when the court sets the MSJ for hearing, we'll file a response, we'll get to argue it, and
Wait
the
a
court.
minute, wait a minute. I need to ask the operative question. Are you ready to proceed to jury trial? Both of
We
you.
are, Judge.
You are.
Yeah.
You? Mrs.
Yes,
Schmidt?
Judge. Yes,
All right.
Judge.
Give me a second. We are going back into jury trials, and this you will be, maybe I'm going to put you to trial on March 7th. March 7th? Is that the only one? All right. You got a trial date. Prepare
Judge,
yourself.
may I look at my calendar real?
Oh, sir. I'm going to give you a March 7th trial date for this characterization of property. That's our first jury available to me, and I'm anxious to go back to trying jury cases, and this would be a good one to start with. So I'll take your announcements that we will convene a jury for you on Monday. Be here around 8:30. That's when we probably finish impaneling the jury and have it ready for you for your board dire. And we will direct you with additional specifics once you're here in the courtroom on that day. All right.
All right, Judge. We'll see you March 7th.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All righty.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
2022 DCL 756, Alejandro Caballero, Jennifer Caballero, Mr. Barrera, and Ms. Garcia.
Good morning, Your Honor. We have an agreement.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. All right.
We have this is a divorce with a TRO set for temporary orders. We have an agreement.
Okay. What do we got going here?
Your Honor, if we can have the parties sworn in, I can proffer the agreement and just affirm
Raise
it.
your right hands, Mr. and Ms. Caballero. Both of you.
Do you solemnly swear from the testimony given will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Caballero?
Yes.
Ms. Caballero?
Yes.
Thank you. Y'all can put your hands up.
Thank you. Go ahead, proceed.
May it please our court, I call Mr. Caballero. Mr. Caballero, please state your full name for the court. Your Honor, actually, I'm going to proceed to proffer. I think he's on mute. The agreement is that both parties will be joint managing conservator. Mom will be the person to designate the residence of the children within Cameron County, Texas. Child support will be as per the court code, giving my client accountability for one child outside of the marriage. Visitation will be as per the extended standard position order, as per the family code. The standard injunctions will apply to the protection of the property and keeping the peace, including the preservation of a Corvette, including the preservation of not selling acres that the parties both own, and other property as applied. The parties will live apart and will have exclusive possession of their respective domiciles, and we ask the court that we have a date to come back within 45 days, Your Honor. Mr. Caballero, is this true and correct as I have recited to the court?
It's true and correct.
There's an addition of electronic communication that we agreed on. It would be daily between 6 and 7 o'clock for a reasonable period of time. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia.
Your Honor, if I may continue to proffer to the court, everything that Mr. Barrera has stated on the record is correct. We've additionally agreed that the parties are going to file a joint income tax as they were married the entire year of 2021. They will do a married filing jointly, and they will split any income tax return that they receive. We are reserving any issue of arrears for final hearing. And I did calculate a child support amount of $1,169.27. That does factor in the credit for the child that is not before the court. And that also factors in a credit for medical coverage because Mr. Caballero does pay their medical. So all of the appropriate factors that need to be applied have been applied in that computation. And that amount again is $1,169.27 that we're asking to begin March 1st, 2022. I don't recall if Mr. Barrera touched on the medical, but dad maintains medical and we would ask that dad continue to maintain medical.
Mr. Herrera,
Correct, Your Honor.
is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mr. Barrera, Judge, if I may, is that 1,100, is that including the insurance?
Yes, it
Mr.
does.
Caballero, they've given you credit for the insurance in your net calculation. I'll be looking at the numbers, affirming them today. But it's a very mathematical formula. They also give you credit for a child outside of the marriage. So that is indeed what they did.
So my insurance won't come out of my work anymore. My wife will have to provide the insurance for the kids with the child support money.
You will continue to provide insurance and continue to get credit as a lower child support amount based on the net calculation. You need to keep providing private health insurance. You're the obligor.
Do we know how much that's going to be?
What you're already providing in health insurance, you keep doing it. It's already coming out.
Do you
You
have
already-
insurance on the children right now?
I'm sorry, sir?
Do you
No.
have insurance on the children right now?
Yes, sir. I've always paid.
You just need to continue paying that insurance and giving you credit for that. That's what the amount of child support is.
Okay.
And this is temporarily. Do you understand that, Mr. Caballero?
Yes.
If you, do you, look, you don't, I'm getting a lot of unhappy people this morning in Zoom. Mr. Caballero doesn't appear to be very happy. Can you send Mr. Barrera and Mr. Caballero to their own? I'm gonna send you to a breakout room, Mr. Caballero, with your attorney. So that way you all can face each other and we're not hearing anything. You're gonna be in a private room, electronic private room where you can discuss whatever you want to ask him right now. Because I wanna make sure that you understand this. All
That's
right?
good, Your Honor. I hadn't had
All
a
right.
chance to go over the calculation. I'd be happy to do that.
Mr. Caballero, what, Mr. Caballero,
Yeah.
when you get a prompting, join the room because Mr. Barrera is gonna be there.
The room is open.
Thank you, Judge. I'll be on standby.
Thank you.
And Mr. Barrera, I will email you that child support report so you have it at the top of your email.
Oh, he's not on the screen.
Okay.
Mr. Delgadillo.
Yes,
Do you have your client there with you?
he is present in my office, ready for the plea.
Yes, can I verify the plea papers with him?
He will need an interpreter.
Oh, okay. Alejandro? Okay, Juan Carlos García Morales,
Juan Carlos García Morales?
Sí.
Yes.
did your attorney explain this paperwork to you?
¿Su abogado le explicó estos documentos, señor?
Sí, claro.
Yes, of course.
Do you have any questions for your attorney?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta que le quiera hacer a su abogado?
No, está bien.
No, it's fine.
Okay, is this your signature?
¿Esta es su firma, señor?
Sí, claro.
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor. Disculpe, señor, ¿me puede dar su nombre otra vez?
Juan Carlos García Morales.
Juan Carlos García Morales, ok. Gracias.
You're muted, Judge. Mr. Delgadillo, is your client there?
Yes, we're ready to go.
Raise your right hand, sir.
Señor, levante su mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear from the testimony you will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura que el testimonio que se vaya a llevar a cabo ahorita en este momento va a ser la verdad y solamente la verdad. ¿Lo jura usted por Dios?
Sí, sí.
Yes.
Thank you. Put your hand down.
Back su mano.
This is cause number 2021 DCR 2130, State of Texas, Juan Carlos Garcia Morales. Is that the true and correct name?
¿Es su nombre correcto, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
The attorney tells me you wish to enter a plea of guilty to certain charges in the indictment. Is that correct?
Su abogado me está diciendo que usted se quiere llevar a cabo una declaración de culpabilidad a ciertas acusaciones en contra de usted dentro de la acusación formal. ¿Esto es correcto, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
What are you telling me you're guilty of? What are you going to plead guilty to? What crime?
¿Qué me está diciendo usted de lo que es culpable usted? ¿Qué delito?
Pues de DWI, que me agarraron manejando, tomando.
Well, yeah, the DWI, I got caught driving, drinking.
All right. Was that being reduced, Mr. Delgadillo? No, it's a state jail felony?
Señor Delgadillo, ¿esto se redujo o es cárcel del estado?
It's a state jail felony, Your Honor. There was a minor participant in the car.
Es cárcel del estado, su señoría. Hubo un menor ahí involucrado en el coche.
All right. Mr. Morales, do you understand that your conduct violates state jail felony statute, which calls for confinement in a state jail facility for a term of not more than 2 years or less than 180 days, to which I can impose a fine not to exceed $10,000? Are you aware of that?
Señor, usted entiende perfectamente bien que su conducta lleva a cabo este mismo delito y su posible sentencia no es más de 2 años, no menos de 180 días en la cárcel del estado y una multa que no exceda $10,000, ¿correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
¿Esto lo está haciendo de forma voluntaria, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
It's necessary to rearraign him, Mr. Delgadillo.
¿Se necesita llevar a cabo la lectura de los cargos, señor Delgadillo?
No, it is not, Your Honor.
No, señoría.
Mr. Morales, understanding what crime you're pleading guilty to, which is driving while intoxicated with a minor in the vehicle, state jail felony violation punishable by state jail facility confinement. What is your plea to the charges of state jail felony driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not?
Entendiendo, señor Morales, perfectamente bien cuál es el delito cual usted cometió, que viene siendo de cárcel del estado, de haber estado manejando bajo estado de ebriedad junto con un menor. ¿Cómo es que se va a declarar usted culpable o no culpable a este delito de estar manejando bajo estado de ebriedad con cárcel del estado?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
¿Es ciudadano de los Estados Unidos?
No.
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty to these charges or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to this country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Señor, usted entiende perfectamente bien que llevando a cabo una declaración de culpabilidad, o no lo contenderé, podría llevar a cabo usted, se puede ser deportado, puede ser excluido, puede ser, no se le permite su admisión y también se le puede negar su naturalización bajo leyes federales. ¿Entiende lo anterior?
Sí.
Yes.
And understanding all that, you still wish to continue pleading guilty?
Y después de haber entendido todo lo anterior, como quiera, ¿se quiere usted declarar culpable?
Sí, claro.
Yes, of course.
All right. Are you pleading guilty out of any persuasion of fear, hope of pardon, force, threats, or promises of any kind?
¿Se está declarando usted culpable por miedo, porque lo forzaron a hacerlo, porque lo amenazaron o por algún tipo de promesa?
No.
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you're in fact guilty and for no other reason?
¿Se está usted declarando culpable porque sí es culpable y no por otra razón?
Sí, claro. Pues sí.
Yes, of course.
Have you ever been in a mental hospital or treated by a doctor for any mental disorders?
¿En algún momento ha estado usted internado dentro de un centro psiquiátrico y recibido tratamiento psiquiátrico por algún tipo de trastorno mental?
No, claro, claro.
No.
All right, Mr. Delgadillo, you find Mr. Morales competent able to assist in a defense he may have.
Señor
Yes,
Delgadillo, usted ve que el señor Morales es una persona competente y asistido a usted en su defensa.
Yes, Your Honor, we've met multiple times and I believe he is competent and able to assist in it.
Sí, nos vimos en varias ocasiones y sí veo que es una persona competente y me ha asistido.
Mr. Morales, you pled guilty with a recommended sentence, a sentence that's been recommended to me by your attorney and by the prosecutor in this case.
Señor Morales, usted llevó a cabo esta declaración de culpabilidad bajo una posible recomendación de sentencia a través de los esfuerzos de su abogado y también los de la fiscalía.
What you need to know about that is the decision of whether to go along with that or not. It's totally only up to me. Do you understand that?
Lo que tiene que entender usted perfectamente bien, señor, que el único que va a decidir si se va a llevar a cabo esto o no soy yo. ¿Entiende usted?
Sí, claro.
Yes, of course.
If I, after further discussion or evaluation, determine it's not an appropriate sentence, I will reject it.
Si yo después de más investigación sobre el caso veo que no es apropiado, pues entonces yo lo puedo rechazar. ¿Entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
If I reject it, I will allow you an opportunity to withdraw your plea of guilty and proceed to a jury trial.
Si yo lo rechazo, entonces le voy a dar la oportunidad a usted que se declare no culpable y llevar a cabo un juicio conjurado. ¿Entiende usted?
No, sí, claro.
Yes, of course.
The flip side of that coin is if I accept it the way it's been stated, the way it's written, and I don't change anything, you may not appeal your case without the court's permission, except as in the pretrial motions Mr. Delgadillo may have filed on your behalf prior to today. Do you understand that?
Ahora bien, la vuelta de la moneda de esto es de que si lo acepto tal como está escrito y todo, entonces usted ya no va a poder llevar a cabo la apelación en relación a este caso, solamente si tiene mi permiso para hacerlo. Ahora bien, todo lo que sí puede presentar en apelación viene siendo todos los recursos que su abogado, el señor Delgadillo, haya presentado antes del día de hoy. ¿Entiende usted esto, señor?
Sí, claro.
Yes, of course.
All right. That case, the court is going to find your plea of guilty is freely and voluntarily made, and your competent stand trial as the state to produce evidence to substantiate the plea.
Se resuelve que su declaración se llevó a cabo de forma voluntaria y se le solicita ahorita en este momento a la fiscalía las pruebas.
State offers 1, 2, and 3 into evidence.
Las pruebas se ofrecen por parte de la fiscalía, la 1, la 2 y la 3.
No objection, Your Honor.
No se objetó por parte de su abogado.
All right, Mr. Morales.
Señor Morales.
I hand a set of documents that is commonly referred to as a plea packet. Those are all documents related to your case, the reason you're pleading guilty to me this morning.
Señor Morales, aquí en mis manos tengo unos documentos que vienen siendo que comúnmente se les dice paquete declaratorio, son unos documentos todos relacionados con su caso. Aquí, ¿entiende usted?
Sí.
Yes.
It consists of 3 exhibits.
Consisten de 3 pruebas.
And I want to talk to you about exhibit number 1.
Voy a hablar con usted de la prueba número 1.
Which is a 9-page document.
Es un documento de 9 páginas.
And on page 7, there's a signature line. There's a signature already on there. And I'm going to ask you, is this in fact your signature?
En la página número 7 se encuentra una firma que ya está ahí. Le voy a preguntar a usted para confirmar que si esta firma sí es un hecho que es de usted.
Sí.
¿Es su firma?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Morales, when you signed this document, you're telling me that you understood by signing this document that you were waiving your constitutional rights to a right to a jury trial, a right to remain silent, not to incriminate yourself, and you were also waiving your right to confront your accusers in open court. Were you aware of this?
Señor Morales, en el momento que usted estaba firmando este documento, usted estaba diciéndome a mí que usted sabía perfectamente bien qué es lo que estaba haciendo y que judicialmente estaba confesando al delito presumido dentro de la acusación formal. Usted sabe que en el momento que usted estaba firmando este documento, ¿eso es lo que estaba haciendo usted, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
And further, were you aware that you also had an agreement with the prosecution that exhibits not one, but 2 or 3 are true and correct copies of the arrest report, incident report, lab reports that were generated as a result of your arrest, the reason you're standing in front of me this morning?
Entiende usted también, señor, perfectamente bien que las pruebas 2 y 3, no la 1, pero la 2 y la 3, son parte de un acuerdo informal que tiene usted con la Fiscalía, y estos documentos vienen siendo todos relacionados con el origen de la razón por la cual usted está ante mí y la razón por la cual fue arrestado. ¿Entiende usted esto, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, the court is gonna, in that case, the court is gonna find you have voluntarily and intelligently waived your constitutional and statutory rights and the evidence offered by the state does substantiate your plea.
Se resuelve que usted renunció a todos sus derechos y por lo mismo se va a llevar a cabo su sentencia y todos sus derechos constitucionales. Su culpabilidad, perdón.
All right. What is Mr. Morales' background, Mr. Arriola?
Señor Arriola, ¿cuáles son los antecedentes del señor Morales?
Judge, he's got a misdemeanor DWI from 2013. That's it.
Tiene un delito menor de estar manejando bajo estado de ebriedad en el 2013. Eso es todo.
Mr. Morales.
Sí.
Señor Morales,
Why do you want probation from me?
¿por qué quiere libertad condicional? Que yo le dé libertad condicional.
Pues, y la verdad que pues, mi familia me necesita y pues yo quiero que me den una chance, ¿verdad? Para demostrarle que pues esto es lo que me ha pasado con estas 2 veces. La mera verdad no está muy bien y la mera verdad quiero cambiar. Y porque quiero estar con mi familia, yo soy el sustento de mi familia y quiero por favor que me den esta oportunidad de estar al lado de mi familia.
Well, Your Honor, it's because, well, I want to help my family. I want to be with my family. I know this is the second time that I do this, and I know it's wrong, and I want this opportunity to be able to be with my family and help my family. I'm the only one that works and maintains everything in my family, so that's why I'm asking for this opportunity.
I'm gonna do it because, but I'm gonna tell you something, Mr. Morales.
Sí lo voy a hacer, señor Morales, pero déjame le digo algo, señor Morales.
How old are you?
¿Cuántos años tiene usted?
28.
28.
If you leave your family in dire straits or in a bad situation, you're going to do it. You are going to do it. Because I'm not going to leave you out while you're committing this crime just because you're going to lose your family. I'm not making you lose your family. You're losing your family.
Señor Morales.
Let me get off the record a second. Señor Morales.
Sí.
Le voy a dar la oportunidad que me pide, pero no lo quiero ver otra vez en mi corte y no lo quiero ver que está haciendo esto otra vez. Si a usted tanto le importa lo que me acaba de declarar, que su familia es muy importante, que los va a dejar desamparados, y los encierran y para acá y para allá, si llega a suceder una vez más, yo lo voy a mandar a la penitenciaría. Usted es el que va a desamparar a su familia. Yo no le estoy haciendo nada a su familia. No la conozco, pero yo tampoco puedo andar con usted 24/7. Tiene que tener la confianza que usted es un hombre de responsabilidad, sabe ya lo que está entre el bien y el mal. Me acaba de declarar que admite que este fue muy mal por su parte haber metido en este problema una vez más. Llevan 2. Si lo vuelven a agarrar otra vez, van a ser 3. Y va a regresar a mi corte y yo me voy a acordar de usted. Y aunque me ponga la familia por enfrente, que no, que van a sufrir, que yo soy el único que trabajo y que los voy a dejar, va para adentro. Va para la cárcel. Y ya estuvo suficiente. Este es el colmo. Ya no puedo yo darle otra oportunidad para que siga haciendo la misma cosa y un día ojalá y no vaya a lastimar a gente inocente, vaya a matar a alguien inocente, incluyéndose a usted. Esta obligación y responsabilidad que me da la comunidad a mí es muy pesada.
Sí,
Si usted me falla y llega a suceder algo, yo también la voy a llevar. ¿Me explico?
Sí, entiendo muy bien.
Pues ya es necesario usted, si, no sé si lo van a dejar en este país, no sé si va a tener problemas con la migración, pero si ojalá y no los tenga y se quede en este país, comience a maniobrar su vida un poquito más según la ley.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Yo sé que usted ha comprendido una cosa, gran diferencia entre el país de México y este país. Aquí no se perdona tanto.
Sí, sí, entiendo.
Y hay consecuencias más. Usted no es un hombre rico, no creo. Vive del sudor de su frente.
Claro que sí, día a día.
Usted no
Trabajando.
tiene dineral para andar pagando abogados y saliendo en fianza y lo que sea. Le ha costado dinero que no tiene.
Sí, exactamente.
Todas esas cosas tienen que tomarse usted en consideración la última vez que venga esa tentación, que nunca se va, que nunca se desaparece. Ya sea tentación pues, entre los amigos, entre los que en el trabajo, socialmente, ahí está la tentación. El problema nunca ha sido ser tomar. El problema es que lo que hace después de que toma. Ese es el problema. Es el WhatsApp, como dice la chaviza.
Sí,
¿Me explico?
sí, sí, claro.
Si usted tomara en una fiesta y dice, ¿sabes qué? Yo no me voy, no. Aquí déjenme hasta que venga mi esposa, o denme un ride, o háblenme en un taxi, o háblenle a esa cosa que le dicen el Lyft, el Uber ese, para que me llegue a la casa. Pero al carro no me meto.
Sí, es algo que la mera verdad se debe pensar. La mera
All right.
verdad.
The court will follow the recommendation hereby. It is the order, judgment, decree of this court, Mr. Morales, that you be taken by the sheriff of this county, you be transferred to the authorized representative institutional division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice System, State Jail Facility, where you shall be confined for a period of 2 years. However, the court, in deference to the plea agreement, will suspend the imposition of said sentence and place you on probation for 5 years. Under the following conditions. Mr. Morales, please pay attention.
Señor Morales, por favor, ponga atención.
Sí.
The defendant will remain arrest-free.
El acusado ya no puede ser arrestado, o sea, no puede hacer usted nada para que lo arresten.
You understand that, Mr. Morales?
¿Entendió esto, señor Morales?
Sí, claro.
Yes.
And what you need to understand about that is also this. It doesn't matter to me whether what you're arrested for again, whether you're guilty of that or not. Do you understand that?
Señor Morales, lo que tiene que entender perfectamente bien de esto es que a mí no me importa en lo absoluto por qué es que lo arrestaron, si usted fue culpable de la razón que lo arrestaron, etcétera. Eso a mí no me importa.
You understand that?
¿Entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. What else?
Alcohol evaluation.
Yes.
Evaluación de alcohol, sí.
English second language.
Inglés como segundo idioma.
No.
No.
GED high school.
El equivalente el diploma de high school.
No.
No.
Interlock device.
El artefacto para para el coche,
If
para
it drives, you need to put one on there, yes.
si se tiene que manejar, se tiene que poner, sí.
Random UAs.
Análisis al azar de orina,
Yes.
sí.
The breathalyzer.
No.
El artefacto para soplar, para medir el alcohol, no.
Restitution if any.
Yes.
Restitución, si es que hay, sí.
The victims of video
El
Yes.
video de todas las víctimas, sí.
12-hour DWI class.
That's mandatory.
12 horas de una clase de estar manejando bajo estado de ebriedad, eso es obligatorio.
Maintain gainful employment.
Yes.
Mantener el trabajo, sí.
County jails, conditional probation.
Is there a minimum county jail, Mr. Riola?
Cárcel del condado como condición de libertad condicional. Señora Arriola, ¿hay
There is
esto?
Let me look it up. I can't remember if it's 3 or 5, but let me check it.
Déjeme lo veo, no sé si sea 3 o 5.
Mr. Delgadillo, do you know?
My understanding was that was not part of the agreement, but no, I don't.
Well, it's by statute. It's like mandatory, like the interlock device mandatory. There's a mandatory minimum jail time.
We do ask that any time that be credited that he spent in.
I'll do what I have to, but that I don't know what time we're dealing with, Mr. Delgadillo. I know that there's some mandatory time, 3 days or 5 days or 10 days. I'm not sure what it is. Mr. Barrera and the other man haven't come back?
Yes, they're already back.
We're back, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm almost through here.
No problem.
Buenos días, ¿cómo estás, Rolando? Bien.
All right, while you're looking up the thing, let me go to Caballero. Ms. Caballero, Mr. Barrera, and Ms. Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes, Your
have you
Honor.
had,
Yes,
have you had an ample opportunity, Ms. Barrera, to discuss with Mr. Caballero?
I have, Your Honor. I went through the calculation, discussed the deduction of the net versus the gross for the family code, and Mr. Caballero is ready to affirm.
All right, Mr. Caballero, has all your questions been answered?
Yes.
All right, so do you understand what the agreement is, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will approve the agreement reached by the parties regarding temporary orders as stated on the record. Should I set this matter for final hearing, Mr. Barrera or Ms. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, we have no opposition to getting a final hearing date.
How long has it been filed?
This is a fresh divorce, Your Honor. We would need the end of April at this point.
All right, let me give you a final date for divorce at the end of April,
Perfect.
which will meet the mandatory 60-day filing period.
Thank you, Judge.
April 21st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
That time we'll
Judge.
be
That is
back
all I
in
have
court,
this
and that
morning. May
will
we
be
be
for the
excused?
final hearing, okay? Both of you, Ms. Caballero and Mr. Caballero, you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse. Thank you.
All right, what y'all find?
Still looking, Judge. It's very poorly written.
I know there's a mandatory minimum.
I agree.
All right, well, let me know. Huh? Okay. What happened?
Judge, so on a DWI, specifically a DWI state jail felony child passenger, there's no county jail requirement. The only thing required is the drug alcohol evaluation and pay costs for any rehabilitation program and must complete an alcohol education program. It's only for DWI third that it's 10 days in county jail. Yes, 6 days on a Class B misdemeanor open container.
Okay. All right. Well, certainly going to follow the law. That's the order of the court. I think I gave him all the conditions except that I'll give him 180 days to pay the court cost.
Ya le di todas las condiciones y todo su libertad condicional, solamente que tiene 180 días para pagar todo.